Hello and welcome to this episode of Let's Talk Loyalty and Loyalty TV. Today's interview features the SAS Group, the Swedish airline holding company originally formed in 1946 after the merger of three Scandinavian flag carriers, serving Sweden, Denmark and Norway. And it's now Scandinavia's leading airline, offering the most departures to, from and within Scandinavia. Like many airlines, the SAS Group has made significant changes to its corporate structures over the years, and particularly this year to its global alliance strategy. SAS was one of the original founding members of the Star Alliance in 1997, but then it left in August 2024 and joined Skyteam the very next day. Joining us today to share some of the insights on their loyalty program and some recent award-winning loyalty-led campaigns is Olivia Wasniewski, who is head of the EuroBonus Program operated by SAS. I hope you enjoy our conversation. So, Olivia, welcome to Let's Talk Loyalty and Loyalty TV.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Paula. Really good being here. I've listened to your podcast previously as well for a while, so it feels like an honor to also be here and talk to you.
Amazing. Fantastic. And I know our paths have crossed at a couple of different conferences.
Yes, that's why I'm also sitting here with the Let's Talk Loyalty branded mug.
Amazing. That always makes my day, Olivia. So thank you for that. So listen, we've a lot to get through, Olivia. So as you know, we always start with the same opening question, which our audience always loves to get a sense from you as a loyalty professional. So would you mind just kicking us off and telling us what is your favorite loyalty program?
So I will actually answer, because I'm not going to answer the one that I'm working with, EuroBonus. I'm not going to answer anyone within the industry. I think there are a lot of interesting travel-related programs. I'm going to answer more from a personal level on this one, I think. Because there is one loyalty program that has me hooked and has me acting a little bit irrationally and staying with the product, although maybe like financially I should have just cut it. And it's a gym chain. And I think that probably some magic that also the travel industry has, that also maybe the gym chain has, that if you like identify yourself and feel passionate about the product, it's easier to also give the loyalty and stay. So I, in my previous life, without kids and so on, I used to work out a lot at a specific gym chain, so I reached their top level. And as long as I stay within their loyalty program and don't quit, I stay at the top level. Right now, to be honest, I just go there a few times a year, so I should really, from financial reasons, cut the subscription. But as I know that I will lose that top position if I cut it, I still stay there because I want to identify myself with that brand and with the product, and hope to come back. And I think also they're seeing that they have identified my churn risk. They are like trying to communicate and get me over there. So
okay, yeah. Okay. Well done.
One day I will. Like a lot of other people think.
Yeah. You know, it's one thing to behave irrationally, Olivia. It's another thing to be aware that you're behaving irrationally.
And still do it.
Yeah, still be doing it. So that's loyalty at its best example. So thank you for that. So tell us a bit about you, Olivia. I know you've been working in the airline industry for a very long time, but just give us an introduction. I know you've had lots of different roles within the industry as well. So tell us a bit about your background and your experience in loyalty so far, and maybe a little bit about the airline as well, because we have, as you know, an audience in the US, UK, and Australia. So yeah, just if you don't mind doing the basic introduction, so we know who you are.
Yes. Okay. So I've been, as you say, Paul, I've been in the airline industry for quite a long time. It's, as a lot of people, I find it addictive. It's a lot of fun and very, very rewarding to work with. So 11 and a half years. I've been working in different parts of the airline. So revenue management, price distribution, for a while in loyalty, and then I came back. But also with the product on board, with the meal offer and focus on sustainability, and on the strategy team, and now back in loyalty the last few years. Mm-hmm. Previously, I worked with consulting, and my background, what I studied was economics and finance, so kind of like hardcore stuff. But also then, I wasn't really thinking about that loyalty would be my passion then. But my passion then, when studying these like more hardcore analytical subjects, it was behavioral finance. So I think this is kind of also reflected now, because loyalty it's like loyalty. It's a very commercial and analytical field, but also with this psychological twist, which I find very interesting. I think it's it's what makes it fun to work with and keep on thinking from different angles. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
And a little bit about the airline. Sorry, you said as well. So also another long history, even longer than my 11.5 years. SAS is now, it's like I would say a mid-size airline, like 130 aircraft, 10,000 employees. So what is specific for us is that we have bases in Scandinavia. So we have three bigger hubs in Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. Although we're focusing more and more on Denmark, Copenhagen as our main hub, but we have the three hubs. And we have a lot of flights in Nordics and Europe, but also a good coverage of the US market. So if you say that you have a lot of US listeners, it could be worth trying out, because we fly to nine cities in the US and also one in Canada, and some Asia as well. But the interesting part about SAS, I think, is like the history also. It was founded in 1946, so just after the Second World War. And the nice thing was that it was like three countries that came together and said, hey, we want world peace. We want the world like a sustainable world where people work together and meet, because this is needed for the world to work together. So they together created one airline that had like three state owners. So it was the flagship carrier of three airlines. And it has had SAS has a very important role in the Scandinavian market, because we are very much like in Scandinavia. We have long countries, so you need an aircraft to travel, and also countries. For example, Norway has huge mountains, so you really need an aircraft to fly. And it gets super dark and cold in the winter, so we all need to go south to survive. So it has played a very key role, the airline, in the Scandinavian society.
Incredible.
And right now also, like, it was emerged after the war, and right now SAS is also in a very interesting position, because right now we have also like emerged from a long and tough period that we've had, because we've been in Chapter 11, so in bankruptcy protection and reconstruction. We got new owners now, finally. So we had a lot of focus on just like surviving, and of course from my perspective, trying to also keep members happy during that, and the customer. And also we did the alliance shift, so put a lot of focus on changing airline alliance from Star Alliance to Skyteam, which requires a lot of work. So now finally we have landed, and it feels really good, because we can look forward more. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. Almost feels like it's the first time, maybe in a few years, Olivia, that you could actually catch your breath. All of those changes were probably quite difficult to go through. And we're certainly going to talk about the alliance piece now in a couple of minutes. But certainly Chapter 11, I can imagine, is quite stressful. And like everybody, of course, as an airline, the pandemic was devastating. So I know you've been through all of that, come out the other side. So I'm thrilled that the survival story is the one that we're focused on today. So talk to us a little bit just specifically then about the loyalty program, about EuroBonus, because as you said, the airline was launched in 1946, but not the loyalty program. That always obviously takes a bit more time.
Yeah.
So tell us about the story of EuroBonus and what you currently offer.
Yes, so EuroBonus was launched in 1992, much inspired also because the American loyalty programs and frequent flyer programs, because in the US, the airlines were front runners in this field. And so we are, I would say quite young, still turning 33 in May 25. But it was originally like a lot of loyalty programs connected to the airlines. We were set up like a frequent flyer program, focusing on those that fly a lot with levels and benefits. We had some partners to start out with, hotels and so on, but mainly focus on the frequent flyer. We have the last years we are doing. We are on a journey to become more of a loyalty program that you can use in your daily life, not only for frequent flyers. So we have like more than 2,000 partners, and we want to have even more. And a lot of the focus in the program is on earning and using points. And before that, it's also been a switch, because before the pandemic, most points were earned on flights. But right now, most points are earned in daily life. But people then want to use them when to fly. So it's still like the dream of the travel and to getting that, what I like calling the bonus experience, that keeps people engaged. And we also have a lot about earning using points, but we also have a tiered level program. So we have the entry level, and then we have 3 levels above the entry level. We call them silver, gold, and diamond. So this is quite a lot in line with a lot of traditional airlines and loyalty programs. I think what sets us apart here is that we have quite a lot of members that are actually on the like silver, gold level, because of what I explained about like the importance of the airline industry and flying in the Scandinavian market. I mean, specifically in Norway, we have a lot of members, a lot of silver members, because you just can't take the train around or car around these mountains. You can fly in 45 minutes, but if you go by train or car, it takes you 4 hours. So it doesn't really make sense to do that. For people to live their normal life, a lot of them are relying on us.
Amazing. Yeah. So you probably have a lot of built-in loyalty then, dare I say it. I don't want to make your job sound too easy, because I know you're doing a lot. But am I right in saying you're just about to cross a major milestone in terms of the actual size of your base, Olivia?
Yes, actually, we are just like keeping our eyes open, and any day soon, like really any day, we will cross. We will get our 8 million member.
Amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
So that would be. It's an honor, and also looking at like the penetration of number of members, it's quite big. So it's good.
It does, yeah. Well, I mean, you're certainly not the only airline. In fact, I'd be surprised if there's any airline that's still only focusing, as you said, on the frequent flyers.
Yeah.
Because, as you rightly said, the dream of travel as a redemption opportunity is something that every airline can harness, can tap into that passion for getting to sunny places. Yes. As you said, Scandinavia can be quite dark. So this idea of earning in everyday life through the partners that you mentioned, and then being able to jet away to somewhere fabulous is very inspiring. And I know we're recording now in November, and hopefully, anybody listening to this, you will already have announced that 8 million member. So no doubt somebody's a very happy passenger, a very happy member. So tell us about, I suppose, the big topic for today, Olivia. And I know we're going to talk about some of your amazing campaigns specifically for EuroBonus, but the big story about moving from the Star Alliance over to Skyteam. I think that's something that I don't know of any other airline that's done it. Perhaps they have, but you literally left one alliance. I know at the end of August, the next day you were a member of a new alliance. So that must have been a massive amount of work and a big challenge, both for loyalty and, of course, for the whole airline operations, whether it's code shares and systems and everything that goes with being part of a global alliance. So I guess the first question for me is, why was that decision taken, Olivia? So, what was the big reason that you wanted to move to Skyteam?
Yes. So, I mean, we have been with Star Alliance since it was founded, because we were one of the 5 founding airlines of Star Alliance. So, of course, and Star Alliance, it has been a very integrated part of our offer and so on. So So of course it was a very big step, but I think that what raised the initiative of changing the alliance was actually part of the whole reconstruction and also finding new owners. And one of the investors is Air France KLM. And Air France KLM is, they are founding partners of Skyteam. So for us, it didn't really make sense to be partially owned by another airline, which would mean that we will want to like deepen relationships over time and not be part of the same alliance. So we have been very happy with the Star Alliance, and now we are very happy with Skyteam, and we've had very good initial great support during the transition, and also very good discussions and start of a good relationship, both with like the Skyteam team and also our new partners at the new Skyteam Airlines.
Amazing.
So here we're looking forward at also like deepening the relationships with the airlines.
Amazing. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. You know, that's one of the things I love about this show actually, is really to hear about, you know, business strategy and how the business and the loyalty programs obviously have to support each other. There is that interdependency. And I hadn't realized the investment structure. So that makes perfect sense. And as you said, I know there was a very strong and very loyal relationship, dare I say it, with Star Alliance. So it's really good to hear that everybody was clear on the business rationale, and obviously you left on good terms. So, so congratulations of making the transition. How does it feel now to be part of Skyteam, given that there was, again, just a lot of operational work to get done to make that happen?
Yes, no, it feels really good. As I said, I mean, the cooperation that we are starting to have now, or are having now, is really good. It feels like it's we have like a strategic team, loyalty advisory group we call it. So we work with loyalty strategies with a representative from every airline, and we had a meeting. Actually, I had the honor to host all of the airlines in Stockholm in October. So we just a month after, a month and a half after joining, and I was very happy with the open, honest, and helpful atmosphere on how we like discuss challenges and like how we actually can make the best loyalty product for our joint customers. Because a lot of our members, they are members in one loyalty program, but I mean, they're our joint customers to travel across the network and the alliance. So yeah, that feels very good. It feels very good. And also you mentioned about the like all the work and so on. That's another thing that also feels very good, because people told us that it wasn't, when we were getting like estimates from both from Skyteam and other experts from like the system providers, Amadeus and so on how long time a transition would take. People said that 18 to 24 months if you really, really focus. And we had less than 9 months, because we wanted to make a very clear cut to also not to leave the customer hanging, because there's always a risk of being in between alliances. You know, if you're going out from something, it's maybe not that easy to invest in that relationship and so on. So we did something. I mean, a lot of people deserve a lot of vacation during the fall now. There's still some things to fix, but it also shows something about how cool it is when the whole organization is really focusing with one clear goal, although the path was not always clear, because it has, as you said, it hadn't been done before. And we turned off Alliance one night, and then we turned on the other Alliance. So there was like a minute by minute schedule during that night, and also we did it on a Saturday to Sunday for fun. Or not for fun, but the month and happened to switch there. So we also had people being up in the air, departing in one alliance and landing in one alliance, both by because planes are flying all the time. But also some people were actually doing this on purpose for fun. So this is also something about how engaged our customers are, that it's a cool once in a lifetime thing. Some people wanted to try to just like it's like standing, in between two countries with one foot in another, but they wanted to fly on a 2 alliance flight.
Amazing. Amazing. Great stuff. So thank you, as I said, for the explanation of the airline alliance transition. And when I hear you talk about the Loyalty Advisory Group, Olivia, that's always something I wish I could be a fly on the wall, because I'm sure there's phenomenal conversations happening across those airlines. So the next piece I wanted to ask you about was this award-winning campaign that sounds super fun for anyone who was at the Loyalty and Awards Conference. I think this was just announced. Was it in Bangkok that you won the award?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing. So I know a little bit about it, but again, our audience probably doesn't, Olivia. So I'd love to understand, again, given the context you've given us in terms of what you've been through, new owners, very busy, technical challenges to move from one, entire alliance to another. You then launched this incredible marketing campaign for your loyalty members.
Yeah.
So what was the reason for the campaign? Because it sounds like you were already super busy with so many other things. So adding something quite significant in, what was the kind of intention for that Destination Unknown campaign?
Yeah. So what we wanted to do, we wanted to do something different and show our members the great value of that points could give to our members. This was also the timing. Was also quite good because due to the transition and change of alliance, there was a lot of worry, and sometimes worry that people worried what will happen to my points, what will happen to my status, and so on. And it was good to also show that, and for us, so also I should say that we couldn't. One frustration during that period was also that we couldn't communicate everything about the alliance switch because we didn't know and we hadn't had all the agreements in place and everything signed. So we were not allowed to communicate. So it felt like we were in that sense neglecting our members because we were not allowed to tell something. So that felt quite bad. But we still wanted to show our members that, hey, we are here. You still get great. We think about you. The points can give you great value. We also wanted to show our members that points are not only for the frequent flyers, it's for everyone. Everyone can get great value or bonus experience out of their points. So what we did was we used mystery marketing and went out to our members and said, "Hey, something is going to happen. Are you ready Are you brave enough to explore the unknown or something? Watch out! Next week, something is going to happen." And then we said, "Hey, are you brave enough to use your points to go to the unknown?" And we call it Destination Unknown. So basically, members could. We had a sign-up period where members could apply to buy a bonus trip or a reward flight at the price of a European return trip. So just the normal price. But the difference was that they didn't know where the flight would go. So we have the massive interest, a lot of people signing up for this. So we had to randomly pick a group out of this, and they got their ticket, but the ticket said Destination Unknown. And we filled the flight with only 180 people only paying with points and not knowing where they were going. And also throughout the whole the travel experience and customer journey, we maintain the mystery around it. So we on the ticket, I mentioned on the ticket, also on the boarding pass and so on, and also on the the board displaying all the flights. It said unknown, flight unknown. In the gate, it said unknown. We had also a lot of branding and stuff there. We also had a community so people could chat to each other before, so building up some excitement. We had some competition to fill out the last couple of seats as well, where people could guess. We had like pixeled destinations, and they could guess. They were supposed to guess as fast as they could to see what, as the destinations were unpixeled, to see what destination it was, and they could find seats. And then also throughout, once the day of travel came, also the whole travel was. I mean, we had a DJ at the gate. We had the flight with like special catering, all the details, everything was branded, destination unknown. We were at landing also greeted by the destination, actually by the airport, and then also it ended up being in Athens, and the people knew it was just before landing that people understood that it was in Athens.
Okay.
And then also there were activities throughout the trip that people hadn't expected. So that was also nice. And you also asked, like, how could we do this in these super busy times, which is also interesting. We did this like basically on top of other things that we were going to do, and mostly with internal resources. So we went and like tried to have people chip in. I think one of the biggest challenges was to keep the secrecy of the destination, because there's a lot of systems and everything to just make sure it's hidden. So people didn't know. Like our CEO didn't know where the flight was going. We were maybe like a handful of people knowing, and there were people trying to find out, but we were trying to hide it. So I think that it was. We managed to do this because there was a core group of some very, very dedicated, creative people that just felt a lot of passion for doing this, and also I think that, especially in these times, like coming from the background that we did with the pandemic and then the Chapter 11, the focus on survival, the fact that we were doing something like this also brought a lot of energy among people in the organization, because there's a lot of people involved in this project that was chipping in different parts. And what I heard from the team that was driving this was that it has never been so easy to get people engaged and involved, because people really liked that it was something that was about this wow factor, and and it ended up really well. Like after the flight, on the way back, people were like exchanging numbers and crying and hugging each other. So. Lifelong friendships were made. Indeed, because they did stay the weekend, Olivia. Because it was Friday to Monday, actually. So they did stay the weekend. Yeah. Okay, so they knew they were going on a flight. They knew was within how long, and they got kind of an indicative packing list as well. So they knew kind of the temperature and so on. Okay, great. And they knew they wouldn't need a visa. I remember you saying that to me before. They wouldn't need a visa. Okay. So we said it would be like we kept it within Schengen to make it easy. Yeah. Amazing. And then I guess they paid for their own hotel, so you would have done that separately, and then they had all the activities together. Yeah. Yes. So for the hotel, we also had we had a booking, but we told them that the hotel will cost this much. Do you want it or not? And people wanted it. So. But they actually paid for the hotel, but we had a good rate. And then activities and so on were on us. Yeah. Okay, so the mystery marketing sounds like a brilliant strategy for anybody listening, yeah? A lot, yeah. Amazing. A lot of rings on the water and a lot of publicity, and people are talking about it still, yeah. Yeah, of course. And again, I think having a plane load of people who have all earned their loyalty points through EuroBonus, and then, of course, redeeming them with a sense of trust in the airline that you're going to look after them and take them away together. And again, 180 people, all with that buzz going on. I can imagine the energy. I can understand how you won the award. So congrats on that. I can hear you're very proud of it. Yes. So, yes.
So tell us then, I know there was another piece of work you've done as well, Olivia, just as I suppose our final topic. We always love to ask our guests what they're most proud of. So tell us about the other proposition that you, again, have been working on more recently, which again, I know is 100% relevant for this audience and for anyone in the airline industry. So yeah, tell us a bit about that.
Yeah. So yeah, actually this also was launched this year, but we had planned and worked on it a lot, so we was quite prepared for it. Something that I'm very proud of. I think it's initiative we call, or product, Conscious Traveler. So it's about, sustainability obviously is really important, and we all know that we have to do things to act in a more sustainable way. And as a loyalty program, we have the power to nudge people a little bit in the right direction. And so I think it's a little bit like, okay, you can do things, but you can do them differently. You can buy like milk, or you can buy ecological milk. You can fly, but you can fly using sustainable aviation fuel. So a year ago, we were still, then we hadn't launched this program. So a year ago, we were still a CO2, as a loyalty program, we were CO2 compensating all the travel of our members by investing in projects that in turn were supposed to decrease emissions in the long run. Which sounds good. And it was a nice, why not join EuroBonus, because we're going to CO2 compensate your trip. But it didn't decrease the actual emissions. It was investments in project, and also these. It's a little bit tricky with a follow-up as well of these investments. So we weren't super comfortable with that one. We were talking about should we communicate more about it, but I didn't feel proud of this value proposition. So what we did then was instead that we thought about things that actually make where we can nudge our members into taking conscious steps, as we call them, in a way that actually have an impact right here and now. So a lot about it is on focused on sustainable aviation fuel, and we created it's kind of like a sub program within the loyalty program that we call Conscious Traveler. So what you do is that you each year you can take 10 conscious steps. We have a selection of different steps that you can take. It's like buying a ticket with a sustainable aviation, buying sustainable aviation as an ancillary, but it's also about education, watching a video about sustainable aviation fuel, because we hear a lot from our customers that there's still a knowledge gap about how this works and why it's better, which is a barrier to buying tickets with sustainable aviation fuel. So you take 10 steps, and then you become a conscious traveler, and then you have a set of rewards. So both points, because we feel that points are a very efficient way of getting people to in the right direction. But we also hear the educational part and so on. So for example, we brought some of the first conscious travelers, we brought them to visit Heart Aerospace. It's factory. They are producing an electrical aircraft, and SAS has a letter of intent to purchase some electrical aircraft with them. So we went on a trip to look at that, which was very appreciated.
Okay. Super. Okay. So honestly, we've talked about so much, Olivia. So again, changing alliances, launching your Conscious Traveler, and then your Destination Unknown campaign, all of that work. Again, it's an incredible amount you've achieved already in 2024. So I'm sure you are looking forward to a little bit of a break. But of course, 2025, I'm sure, is going to bring a lot more exciting times. Is there anything you can tell us about what you're thinking of for the future?
Yes, I would say that I'm definitely not looking forward to a break, because during this time, what has happened is that we had a lot of ideas and thoughts and plans and things that we wanted to do, and we have put them aside during the last year to focus on a transition to make sure that one becomes that is doable and a good experience for our customers. So we have a lot of things that we actually want to do. I think that's some of the things that we want to do is to make it. One challenge I could say that we have had is that we've been traditionally very strong with the people that fly a lot and so on, and and understand that. I think that we also want to conceptualize and communicate in a better way so that people understand the great value that the program can bring, also that don't fly that often, because even if you just fly once a year and you can do it for points, it's really good. And if you also can like rent your car and buy your hotel for points, which you can, that's even better. So I think that to also work and also work on rewarding those first steps in the loyalty relationships. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Well, listen, there's so much there, Olivia. I really want to say a huge thank you for sharing all of those insights with us. The journey you've been on is definitely very impressive. And as you said, lots more to come. So I don't have any more questions for you today. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with our audience before we wrap up?
I know there is you mentioned the audience is big in the US, so maybe try out our airline and program, and please come with feedback to us as well. I think that is a very strong, powerful way to improve us. So please come help us improve us. Right now we're getting feedback from all our customers through our app, which is also a really great thing that we haven't spoken about, but it's also very award-winning, the app, and our customers appreciate it a lot, and it's also built in cooperation with our customers and members. So please fly with us and use our app and give feedback there afterwards, so that we can become even better.
Absolutely. And certainly Scandinavia is on my wish list, Olivia. So please God, we'll be able to visit each other at
You're
some
very
point.
welcome.
I'm not sure. Yeah, we'd love to. Absolutely. So we'll put that on the vision board, on the wish list. And please God, we'll be able to talk loyalty in person at some stage. So I just want to say thank you so much from our side, Olivia Wasniewski. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Head of the EuroBonus Program at SAS Scandinavian Airlines. Thank you so much from Let's Talk Loyalty and Loyalty TV.
Thank you, Paula.